Does height matter in a guy?
Does height matter in a girl?
It does matter?
That's what I wrote in the thumbnail now.
Step on the scale.
I don't know you.
She's got a point. Who the hell are you?
This is a weird.
No, it's weird to judge guys based on something they can't change. That's what's weird.
You're not being judged though. Like and subscribe, or else this man will measure you. Salutations, slaves. Where the fuck am I? I am NPC, moral pop commentator, and on today's episode, we're gonna be discussing a man who will do all in his power to measure you if you think height matters, or if you ever had sex. And now I know you have just one question on your mind, and it's, why would anyone do this in the first place? Well, we're gonna go into this video and we're gonna see the motives behind Lenny Miller, which is his name. And as we go through it, we're also gonna see my comments on it, commentary on it, because I'm the best commentator in the world. And also at the end, you will give your commentators on it after you've watched it. So strap in, grab a friend, grab a pussy, grab a like this video, subscribe, share it to all your friends and enemies so I can be your master and you be my slave. And let's get into it. Disclaimer, everything I'm saying is jokes, but like actually being serious. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 clips of like Lenny Miller doing things that I'm like, oh, this is so bad. This is not things you're supposed to be doing. So like, I think he's like somebody that, he is just like a troll. He's adjacent to that vegan teacher and the other girl I was talking about, that other vegan person. They're just like trolls. So they don't say things that are like they mean. They just want to get engagement. So we need to put this in mind before we get into the video. And I know like I'm like a little bit calm right now.
Step on the scale.
And it's because my parents are home and I don't want to scream. So maybe I'll continue screaming like in the middle of the video. But for now, yeah, just
step on the scale. And I'm not trying to actually see their weight. I'm trying to prove the point. Obviously, his girlfriend doesn't weigh 160 pounds. She probably weighs like 90 pounds, like you said. And obviously, she doesn't judge based on height. The Trent twins are like what? How tall do you think they are? 5'3". But the point of it is, if she's 90 pounds and judges based on height, then I want the scale to say something like crazy. You know, I don't care about their weight. It's just more about the message.
There's what he was saying there. He said he doesn't care about their weight, and it's just more about the message. So like, this is just exactly what I said. He's like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the things he's preaching. So if you have not gotten like from a context clue from this video, he's someone.
Step on the scale.
And I've always personality online is just girls should not judge guys based on their height because of whatever, that is not okay because guys can't change their height. So it's like, you can't have a preference as a girl because I can't
step on the scale,
change that preference. And so because of that, I'm gonna judge you based on either your height or your body count or your like just so many weird things that he does. And like, I feel that he's somebody that causes a lot of problems, like false equivalence logics, feeding into the insecurities of like short people, especially like short kings, and broadening like insensitivity span, that already like plagues everybody. And that's, you'll be like, oh, you're just speaking rubbish, NPC, like, why are you just making all this big like grammar, whatever? And like, I'm gonna show you how in this first video especially. I feel like the false equivalency highlights in a very like spectacular way, because he's like, well, if you judge guys based on their weight and their height, then I have to judge you based on your weight. But it's like, that's not even like, it's not the same thing. It's not like similar, especially since he's saying that girls can change their weight. So if girls can change their weight, why is he using that to compare to something that guys can't change, which is their height? He should do the same thing, like do guys weight heights and then girls heights, or guys weight and girls weight. It was just like,
doesn't weigh 160 pounds. She probably weighs like 90 pounds, like you said. And obviously, she doesn't judge based on height. The Trent twins are like what? How tall do you think they are? 5'3". But the point of it is, if she's 90 pounds and judges based on height, then I want the scale to say something like crazy. I don't care about their weight.
Show you that he doesn't actually care. Like, he does not even
step on the scale.
Care. It's not as if he's like, oh my goodness, you see, every time that there's somebody who's not 6 foot tall as a man, girls don't like him or something like that. And just because of that, girls are even short like this and they're looking for guys that are like very tall, and it's not fair. No, he's like, girls that's looking for tall guys are supposed to be slim or something, because like they're body shaming. In that first video, he literally changed the weight of this thing, like the thing he was using to measure the girl. I don't know if I find the full clip and put it here. He actually changed it, and it's not as if he was
step on the scale
doing it because he wanted the girls to like understand that judging a guy based on height is not okay because of their weight is big. No, he did it to make her feel bad, to body shame her. And it's like that will not solve any problem because he does not actually care about the problem. He's just doing it to like boost himself on the internet, which is like my problem with next video I'll be talking about is this one where he says weighing girls who think height matters, big scale. Because like he thinks that girls that think that height matters is a bad thing, so he's using a big scale to weigh them so he can know that like yeah, height does not matter. See now, I don't even know. Let me just play a clip.
Because you judge guys based on something they can't change. So I'm gonna judge you based on something you can change.
Why though? Like the whole premise is just weird. And you're not supposed to judge them based on something they themselves can't change.
All right.
I can't believe you brought this to the app.
I can't believe you judge guys based on something they can't change.
But that's not
Ow, we're already at 190 and it's still not balanced yet.
we base them on their brains, not their height.
So the height doesn't matter?
No, not after this.
Not after this, it doesn't anymore.
Let's go.
So like I think this also like the second point I kind of raised with this video and this kind of character that calls himself Lenny Miller is that he contributes to like the insecurities of people, at least like from what I gather. Because like look at how the girl was saying, "Oh my God, I judge guys based on height." But then when she stepped on the scale and saw she was over a certain like weight,
Step on the scale.
she started tracking and he was like very excited for that. It's like if you weigh past this weight, you should be feeling some kind of way about it, which is basically what insecurity means. Don't Google it. I am the source. And so like if that's what you're saying and people are like getting that, they will think that this is how you're supposed to be. This is like it's insecure. I don't even know, like I just put a second point there because like I thought it was gonna like three 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 is like good for the algorithm or something. But what I mean is that like um these kind of people they do this intentionally. They set this up and as we already established, this is probably like rigged because he probably like this is like wait if you've watched the entire video I'm gonna link it down in the description. He did rig it. So this is not how that's not how like that's not how much she weighs. And I also
Step on the scale.
feel like these people are paid because there is no way like I don't think that somebody backtracks that easily when put under scrutiny, especially when it's like something as simple as
Base them on their brains.
your preferences that's supposed to be personal and private. Like, why should I be saying it online? First of all, like, I only date guys. Yes, I do judge guys based on height, and then is that like, oh, I step on the scale? The whole thing is just weird because now, what do you mean by judge guys based on height? Do you mean that you say you're a dwarf and then I cannot date you, or do you mean to say that you're tall and that means something? Because judging is not just about sexual preferences; it's also about other things. So the whole premise itself is very reductive, and now like what like how would you just know that immediately coming into and meeting this guy in on the street and it's like oh, it's like gives you microphone like it's like do you judge guys based on height and then it's like yes or no and then it's not like oh my goodness step on the scale and you just step on the scale like why like it's like and there's also this whole thing that is like why can't you judge
Step on the scale.
them based on height or a metric that is also immutable like their skin color or their height which is something like why can't you judge them based on that instead of also personality is also like unchangeable so judge them based on that or judge them based on something that is like is not changeable why are you judging them based on something they can't change and insecurity is also like it's something that you feel that you should change about yourself so if you're telling them that this is something you can change and you're
Step on the scale.
now you but your head like judging somebody based on something they can't change and like you're supposed to that means you're supposed to change this state if you want this kind of state which is what insecurity is and these girls are paid anyways the first kid I've ever made so roast me and they're just trying to make me out to be like I'm the bad guy they say that I'm talking to you guys too much and all that kind of stuff I'm like it's so weird I don't get it at all you're my friends right you're all real you're I love you I'm gonna get you all one day. Does height matter? Huh? Does height matter? What is your problem? Answer me! Yes, height matters. My God. Oh yeah? Come and step on this. Why? Well, since you said height matters, let's see how much you weigh. Well, why though? Come on. Follow the script. Fuck the script. I'm tired of all this bullshit. I've been scrubbing your dirty ass for far too long. Why don't Let's use them on the fucking scale, huh? Let's see how you like it. I don't get how y'all feel comfortable making women feel bad for the things they do themselves. It's like you're just doing it as if you don't judge that thing as well. The boss. This light is brighter than my future. Okay, so my god, that's so stupid. So Lenny Miller, the third point I want to make about Lenny Miller is that he increases the insensitivity span to such an umpteenth degree that is, I think, it's even impossible for it to come down. So what is the insensitivity span? The insensitivity span is something I made up, but it's something that you understand already. Basically, you know, insensitivity to like problems about somebody and like increasing it to such a degree that it's like hard to, you know, close back. So he contributes to that. And what are the people being insensitive about? Well, they're being insensitive about men's problems. And like the reason why I say that is because things like this that he does in his video are just, you know, insensitive, lackadaisical, basically just, you know, you're not taking things seriously. And the people that are like the men's problems that I'm talking about are like basically the loneliness epidemic, incel culture, you know, not being able to find somebody, all kind of stuff. Like if that's happening to people and like the face of those people is somebody like him that is like making light of the issues you're talking about, because incels, when they used to come out, they used to usually say that girls are really rejecting them because they are short or don't have enough money or that kind of stuff. And now he's taking that problem and putting it in a video and making it sound funny. And it's like, see, she's like asking you for this, and look at her, she's a slut, she has a high body count. And it's like, those kind of videos will not help you. Those kind of videos only make things worse. Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. So like, you're already like, people already like not even thinking about it. It's like, well, it's like, is loneliness as bad as endometriosis? Is loneliness as bad as like pregnancy? Is loneliness as bad as monthly period pain? I would say no, or yes. It depends on how much loneliness and how much period pain. This is all relative, but like generally they don't take this kind of thing seriously because like systemic or something whatever. So they really don't take it seriously, and like people like this are now the face of the problem that they are trying to express. It's like, we are so sick and tired of the dating market, but this is the way we're going to show it, by shaming women for their preferences. And you're saying, well, guys can't change their height, so why should you be judging them based on that? And it's like, why not? Like, it's not as if I'm like, I have power to say that guys that are below 6 feet should like, you know, born in hell or something like that. It's just an opinion, it's just a preference. You don't have to be feeling bad about it. If you know what I'm saying, it's like weird because you're coming up to random women on the street and it's like, does height matter in a guy? And you're like, yes. And he's like, oh yeah, step on the scale. You must be fat, because like, how can you know, say that guy height matters in a guy if you're not slim fit, if you're not the way I want you to be? Because his girlfriend is also like slim. I saw him on Instagram, and it's like, this only causes people to don't even be angry and not even care at all. Like, there was this story that I saw on Twitter that was like, when the loneliness epidemic, Twitter gurus were on their peak, and the women that were writing this thing were like, why would I care about the loneliness epidemic when they are rapists and abusers? And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is obviously rage bait. And I fell for it, but like, she has a point. It's not that everyone is a rapist or an abuser and all that stuff, but like, why should one care about somebody's harm or a group of people, you know, being sad, when those group of people are the ones that always make other people sad, or suddenly making other people sad we continue to make other people sad from the beginning. It's like, why should I care about you being harmed when you are always harming other people? You know what I'm saying? Not that every single person that is an incel is like that, but like that's the impression that people are giving. Or people are giving, like, even on his comment section, all of them are like basically supporting him. And it's like, this makes people to be more insensitive about like the women's belief. It's like, now nobody even cares about men's mental health, whatever, because like people like this are the ones that are like the face of the entire movement, so to say. And there was this video about like one of the people that are like exactly like, he's just Lenny Miller. In fact, he's similar to him, in not the same, because this one is, I think this one is worse because he's interviewing a literal like criminal, but like, you know, it's the same concept. This kind of person is the face of the mental wellness epidemic. Is like talking about all these kind of men are so suffering, men are so lonely, but like men cannot show emotions. So, but this is the kind of people you're putting on your podcast and you're making jokes about it. Like, I will show you the video. It's August the Dog, and I'll link to the full, video on this channel. You will see it. But the people that the person that he's talking about there, literally, it's a sex offender, and it's like a rapist, 2 guys, and like you're joking about it, and you're like making memes and making like laughing. But like you also want people to care that you are alone. And it's like you're the one that's making people to repel from you. And you're not seeing it. Anyway.
Internet of people saying men's mental health needs to matter. The things men go through, men's mental health, it all needs to be taken more seriously. And generally, it's perpetuated by men who blame everything on women. Okay? Let's just be real for a minute, alright? Generally, that's the demographic who pushes this stuff pretty hard. When in reality, shit like what we're talking about today is the real reason that men's mental health is not taken seriously. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, but stuff like this is a big part of it. The fact that I can scroll through TikTok and see multiple videos that have hundreds of thousands of likes of a man explaining all the different ways he's raped another man, with one of those fucking videos of the ball going around in a circle on the bottom, and all the top comments are just making jokes. That's why nobody takes men's mental health seriously. Shit like that. The fact that we're gonna look at multiple content creators today that willingly set feet away.
And like, you're saying that like, even the Miller's whole thing about, don't judge guys based on height. It's like, why not? Is it that you shouldn't judge based on height, like because of his inimitable characteristic? What about other characteristics that are also imitable, like race? Does that mean that a white person should not be allowed to have or should not be allowed to have a racial preference, or a black person should not be allowed to have a racial preference? Because I'm sure his girlfriend is white, and I know that he probably has a preference for white people. I don't even know himself, but like, imagine if somebody was like, does race matter in the girl, and it's like, yes, and it's like, okay, step on the scale, or come maybe measure your dick size. No, but seriously, it's like, it shouldn't. Why does that matter? Like, if somebody has a preference for Latinas, I don't care. Okay, have Latinas. Nobody gives a shit. Unless if the only shit that people give about is if you're like coming online and be saying, I don't like this height of men, or I don't like this race of women, or I don't like this, but just insert whatever there. It's like, no, don't do that. Just say I don't like, just say that my preference is this or my preference is that. But he's spinning it, or like already putting words in their mouth, or even saying that you cannot be allowed to have this preference because it's immutable. But it says nothing about race. He won't say it. He will not. He's not even going to talk about it because it's not important to him. That's what I'm saying. He does not care. It's not about like making men feel better, or making like saying, see the kind of struggles we're facing with women that are like, saying about height, whatever. That's not what it's about. It's about this, how to get the moolah, and unfortunately, he's going to continue becoming richer. People will continue to watch him because like they like anger, and I was introduced to him by anger. I saw him on my TikTok feed and I was like, oh god, he had like 1 million views, and I was like, no, 1 million likes, and I was like, all the comments was just filled with guys that were like, okay, oh my goodness, this is, you see how women are always like saying this and that, like, talking about our height, talking about our, it's like, yeah. But yes, you want people to care about loneliness epidemic. Like, you see that he's clearly, what he's doing is like clearly nonsense. He's not doing as if he cares. He's like, step on the scale. And the fact that he even read the scale on top. And now you're playing into it and you're like, oh, I love this, clap, clap, clap. This will teach them all the nonsense girls that are telling us that height matters. But it's like, what do you think this will change? Like, every single girl that is out here will still have a preference for whatever they have. This doesn't change anything. This will only make things worse. Especially when you now go deeper and find out, like me, that he read the scale. What else has he done there that's like, you know, unethical just to get views? And people are like enjoying it, and it's like, oh my goodness, you're so amazing. And you're now wondering why people are saying that they don't care about like the male rulers epidemic. This is the end of the video. So in this episode, we've talked about Lenny Miller, how he's leading to insecurities, and also a lot of things. So the internet is not a real place, in as much as you cannot go on Google Maps and find, you know, internet. It's because the internet, apparent omniscience, it really is hard to separate it from real life. A lot of times, real life bleeds into the internet and is stained by trends and micro niches. And I believe this is the reason why we should care about people like Lenny Miller. Although you can say whatever you want, that is a right that you have, it still needs to be elaborated that you don't have to listen to whatever anybody says. Except me, of course. Because whatever you say is not always correct. Have a nice day. Subscribe, like, and share to all your friends and enemies so I can be your master and you can be my slave.